We hear you're looking to go to attorney.
Wait, what?
We're here to help you.
Sounds lying.
Hey everybody, this is Team Absolution bringing you a little bit of a lesson, a little bit of just advice, a little bit of anecdotal evidence. This is about tourney and things that you should be aware of on your way there or once you get there and stuff like that. But first things first, I'm joined with the Doombringer, Allbringers, Griffin.
What am I bringing these people?
Doom. All.
Presents.
You're bringing all.
I bring it all?
You're bringing all.
I bring it all.
You're saving things.
Thanks, Bushy.
What a great
on this side, the man who is rarely seen,
Guess who's
almost
back?
always heard,
Back again.
the Braxton Express.
Brax is back.
The amount of Facebook messages I get from this man
Friend.
telling me what to do is outrageous. First things
Not
first,
this year.
let's
Not
all
this
take
year, Brax.
let's all
Not
take
this
presents of the clean cut, nice, crisp haircut on the Braxton.
Gotta keep it crisp.
Tip 1. Gotta keep it crisp.
Always keep it crisp. Bring your deck box in a cooler.
And I'm, of course, the captain. So, like I started this video saying, we are here to just, one, we're use this just to tell you guys a little funny stories about our tournaments experience in the past, conglomerate stories, and around just a few lessons here. And because we're on our way to Atlanta this weekend, hopefully when this video goes up, if it goes up the week we recorded it, then it won't be. Either way, when you see, we're going to Atlanta eventually. It's happening.
Yeah, eventually.
And we know that you guys are going to go to ARGs at some point, or
Spring
Fests, or your locals even. But your locals, none of these lessons need not apply.
Hey man, we've got some good stories coming out of locals.
Oh, we do. But I don't do these rituals or preparations for every local.
You're not wrong.
So,
You can't afford it.
oh wow.
Wow.
So, Ryan, what's one lesson you have for someone going to an ARG, something like that?
I only have one thing to say. Bring your deck box in a cooler. Always keep it crisp.
We'll come back to Ryan.
Actually, my advice would be don't have Braxton wake you up at 6 a.m. with his 5-alarm system.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about chili.
Look, my 5 alarms, my patent pending 5-alarm system.
The
The
secret
secret
is-
is there's 7.
There's 7 alarms.
There's 7 alarms and he'll wake you up with all of them. Refuse to turn them off. His phone is password protected, so I can't turn them off. And our wise player gets cranky.
I think what I'll do is I'll take his phone and then take it downstairs to the concierge and ask them to put it in a soundproof van.
As a concierge, I would not wish that upon my fellows.
So, there's a little bit of, underneath that story is some truth. Whoever you're going with on your hotel trip, or if you're staying in a hotel, or whatever you're doing, get sleep accommodation set, like,
Always
yesterday.
call dibs on the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I usually call them on the floor just because I don't care, and,
Make sure your driver gets the bed, always.
well, that never happens. I never get the bed.
That's not even true. That's not even remotely true.
So, make sure you set, when you guys are going to wake up and get ready to go, and do you guys want to go get breakfast in the morning, stuff like that. I'm not a big breakfast guy. I'm more of a coffee and other things guy. You're kind of a coffee guy. I think no, you're not a coffee guy.
I'm not a coffee guy.
But you are a breakfast dude.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
a
like
breakfast.
breakfast.
Remember
More
this
of
one?
kind of guy.
I'll murder a bowl of honey.
Little tangential story here. Ryan wasn't there, but the first time we went to Team League, and we stayed at, also, very important,
Pick a nice hotel.
be careful what hotel you choose.
Because if you're in the streets of Atlanta, there's no telling what could happen. You could meet anybody on your way to the venue. It could be me. It could be this guy. It could even be the Shredder.
No.
But street survivalist Ryan Grill. How will we survive in these dank times?
If you're playing Turtles, it's over for you.
So done with these hats.
Don't take my glasses.
No, but seriously, hotels are important because
There was this
we
one
stayed
time-
at a hotel where the reviews on the, we were like, oh, well, look at the reviews.
No. We looked at the reviews on the way there.
Oh no.
After Jorge was like, I got it, it's only $100 for the weekend. for the weekend. And we were like, sweet value. And granted, we were broke college students at the time.
Poor naive boys.
And we look at the reviews on the way there, and the one review I remember specifically was, well, one said, I'd be better off sleeping in the airport bench outside.
No, you're better off sleeping on a park bench.
The other one was like, what are the positives? Nothing. What are the negatives? Everything. And
You open the door and all you get is menacing.
so, they definitely, since then, we've decided that we will stay at the hotel the venue is at.
Yeah, we'll cough up the extra
Pull
dough.
out your
And-
wallet.
Which I
There's
definitely...
usually swimming pool.
Yeah, there's not only a swimming pool, sometimes
gym.
there's a restaurant / bar. There'll be a gym if you do that.
You don't have to, walk to the venue or drive to the venue.
You don't have to
or
worry
with your
about that.
car or any of that in the morning when you're groggy and cranky.
Which means you can get more sleep, which means you can spend more time just goofing off or doing any last minute preparations the night before.
Also, a little side tip, generally speaking, the night before the event, when everyone gets there, everyone usually just hangs out in the lobby.
Yeah, a lot of the people, at least that's how it's always been in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You could get Jose to buy you steak dinners when you make trades for him.
Oh, this time he's not going to make it.
I'm gonna get that steak dinner. You heard it here first,
He's
folks.
not going to get the steak dinner this time.
Get me a next stage.
Don't listen to him, audience. I don't need you. So, I do need you, don't leave me. So, that's important. Definitely the hotel. Pick a nice one. Relax. I think it's important to relax the day before. If you remember our my tourney preparation, leading up to the tournament, it's important to relax. I think it's important to relax the night before. I think Ryan agrees that it's important to relax the night before.
Well, yes, I do agree that it's important to
I'm gonna
relax.
slap
the
you
night
in his
before.
back, and you don't think I can see you? Just because I'm wearing glasses.
Pray it. Films prayer.
And so, not only that, let's go on to something that I'm usually guilty of all the time, especially when it comes to like ARGs and stuff like that. Don't fall into the Jose Perez trap of, but Jose, what? This is my really bad Jorge voice. Wait, can you do a Jorge voice?
What do you want me to say?
Say, but Jose, what if you see X deck there?
But Jose, what if you see X deck there?
That set came out yesterday. No one's gonna have it built. They'll have it built.
Every time.
Always,
10 out
always.
of 10 would build again.
And what's funny is Jorge's response is always, Jose, you built
have that deck
you built
built.
CBD in 24 hours.
Jose, you built CBD in 24 hours. I'm really falling off at the end there.
Yeah.
I used to do this better.
It's like real nasally and squeaky at the end.
I got this.
Hit us with the key.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna. No, I can't do him either.
You lost everything. But the point is,
Why are you here?
in regards to Atlanta and in regards to others, I'm not quite sure when other set releases because I'm more focused on Atlanta right now. But the technical booster drops that this weekend,
Yes.
This weekend.
which means they will have a week.
They're gonna have it.
They're gonna have.
They're gonna have it. It's gonna be there without question.
Will they be good with it? Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But assume that they'll at least have it. Now, granted, Jorge, like I said, asked me, what are you gonna do if you see Universe at ARG States? That goes into my second lesson. You gotta read the tournament you're going to. Like, Charlotte ARG States has a pretty, we fired with 30 some odd people, 30 some odd people, which is great. But I just didn't see Universe, the set dropping the day before, I didn't see them building in 24 hours. Granted, I had it built in 24 hours, but the only reason I was able to get it in 24 hours was because I won,
Nuts.
and we opened 65 packs, and I got the thing I needed in 24 hours. So,
Let's go.
but if it's definitely weak, and I'm going to leave this off to Braxton. Braxton, give us some examples and talk a little bit more about meta changes affecting this kind of situation. So, like, for example, like set drops, a week passes. Has this ever happened where things monumentally change?
Oh yeah, I remember Team League. Our first Team League actually, when
Well,
extra
it's after we scrubbed out.
yeah, after we scrubbed out. The week after we scrubbed out in our first Team League, the Novell and Blau Extra Booster came out. And Ohio, I think it was Ohio?
We wanted to go to Ohio.
Yeah, it was Ohio that was the tournament of that week, and the set came out that was going to have it. And surprise, surprise, it won.
Yeah, and it's
Talk
also
about Blau combo.
Yeah.
Wasn't it sent in the last slot too?
It was a combination of either like
It was-
Aquaforce, or
It was Aquaforce.
because remember this was Invasion versus Defenders,
Yeah, so you
Right.
couldn't use
so you can do like Avengers or Aquaforce.
It was-
Aquaforce had a Tetra.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah.
It was either Aquaforce or it was Raging Form.
Nobody's playing Shadows.
Raging Form is Shadows.
Raging
Oh,
Form
okay, you
is
said Raging Form. And I heard Royal Paladins.
No, Raging
I'm
Form.
like, no, not Royal Paladins. not set 12.
Not set 12, or set 13. Which his point leads me into another one, and this is specific about Team League. This is a little lesson, and it's a little early now, but if you guys are thinking, just remember this one important thing. I think Ryan will agree with me here.
Gotta
One
keep it, Chris.
one deck cannot carry a team.
Y'all better be packing heat.
If you're, I mean this with no disrespect to the clans, except a little bit. If you're rolling up to this tourney with Sanctuary Guard, Set 5 Neonectars,
An MLB
an
without an extra deck.
MLB,
Without an extra deck.
Yo.
you can't say the CBD player will win and the rest of us are just gonna cheese it. That's
The
not-
original strat.
that basically takes our lessons about team placement, crumples them, and says, "I didn't listen." Too much.
I was
math.
on Reddit. Could you say that again, Professor?
Too long, didn't read. So, don't think, because we fell into that trap
Yeah, we were stupid.
with
We were real stupid.
defenders or with invaders.
But Jose, no, Jose, I have the counter. Ryan was looking at us there.
He said it.
He did.
He actually said those words.
That is important to remember that
We trusted
I
Jorge
swear my
once.
forehand impression is usually better.
when your teammate tells you he can do something, make sure he can do the something consistently before you just take him at face value. For example,
Jorge let us down.
Jose, I promise you. Well, granted, if he were here and to defend him, he never got a chance to test it because he never played against it.
And we took him at face value.
And-
That's the tip.
And how do you say that's a counter if you don't know?
No, I agree. It's not a counter, but at least it's a defense. He never got to test it because he never got to see it. All he saw was Raging Form and lost. So,
That's slot 3 raging form. Watch out for those.
Actually, he was the middle player.
Oh, he was the middle player.
Yeah.
So you just threw him to the dogs.
Yes.
Well, he told us he could beat CBD with Ramio
Should have been
and
slot A, huh?
We learned the hard lessons.
Weren't you in slot A?
I was.
Didn't
in
you
slot
see
A.
straight CBD?
No, I saw
Everything else.
I saw the uck.
You saw the hook
I
in
saw the
slot
hook.
A?
I saw the cheese and then the less cheese.
Why are my
I saw
lessons even here?
I saw the cheese. I was in slot C.
No, I saw the cheese.
You were in A. I was in C.
That's right, but I saw the cheese. I'm telling you, I saw the cheese.
What did you see?
I saw-
One Punch Man?
I saw Deep Police,
One Punch Man?
Great Nature,
Yep.
The Math Boys?
Yes.
and Kagero.
Really?
Misread Kagero. So I saw the cheese. Like miswriting for 3 turns, Kagero. That was our first team league. Second team league was this last one, wasn't it? How many team leagues have we been to? 2?
2.
Yeah, third.
We've been to 2 singles as well.
Yeah.
So this will be our 5th trip to Atlanta.
God bless.
So you got to be ready.
They know it's the Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Tell me when we go there. We can change the hotel.
My Ruby
Oh, bring enough money.
Biblical beast.
Bring enough money because all these events always have paid parking. It's always like, even if you stay at the hotel like us, we still have to pay for the parking of the
You
venue.
gotta eat. You want to buy cards
Yeah.
because this is where your Hugh game comes on. You gotta go like.
Guys, let's be real here. This is a vacation.
Mhm.
Okay, which brings me to another great question. Another great lesson, and I'm going to leave this completely up to you. I'm just going to enter it.
Mhm.
Never on a daily basis / weekly basis will you see a card pool with such a diverse group of people who are willing to give you that said card pool for less value than you will at these events.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Because remember,
Tips on trade, go.
all we're trading here are pieces of cardboard. That's really all they are. The piece of cardboard is worth whatever the market says it's worth, based on supply, demand, and occasionally high prices, as well as what the person you're trading with thinks it's worth. If I have a $25, what have you, I think one time, a more recent trading experience, I had like 2 Maiden of Trailing Rose that the guy needed to finish his set, and he had a Sandguard, and I said, hey, you want to trade? And he's like, yeah, sure, I need these 2 things, I don't need that anymore. What is this, old? Yeah, worth basically nothing, right? And I'm like, yep.
Yep.
I traded him a $5 card for a $120 card. The guy shook my hand and said thank you. And I'm like, all right, thanks for the free money, I guess, if you're happy.
Never underestimate the ability, the desire that people want things, the desire to actually want that. Remember, little economics lesson here. Supply and demand is average. That's why like things will always equate to the average, and that's how prices are found.
Normal distributions.
That's why people say like, oh, what do you value this at? Oh, TCG mid. The average, the market value is average. But that doesn't mean when you're in a tournament hall with 350 people
who don't necessarily check their prices.
One, they don't do that. 2, let's say that guy desperately needed Twin Rose, in his opinion. Why? I don't know. But that's not my prerogative. That's his. Mm-hmm. He desperately wanted that. So for that fleeting moment, he valued those 2 more than a Sandguard. And those are the opportunities of arbitrage that you should take advantage of in such a large event.
And there are various techniques to trading. You can always take your valuable card and break it down into smaller cards if you want to sell them. For example, if you have a $30 card you don't think you'll sell, and you come across a playset of $8 cards that are high in demand, well, I might just take that and then give away this playset for, $26, and then you've sold your $30 card, but you made the sale perhaps because there was a guy willing to spend $30 on 4 cards versus 1. Depending on what the cards are.
It's also fair to talk with your team, talk with your friends or whatever, on what you guys are going to need going into the future. Mm-hmm. Going into sets, whatever.
What we like to do sometimes, and by sometimes, rarely ever, because we're lazy, is to make a list.
Yeah, well, we don't actually make a list, but we do talk about it.
Yeah.
I do remember the second team, the first singles tournament.
Yeah, we were just like, we want rebirths.
We want rebirths.
We're also looking for Mega Colony stuff, too.
Yeah, we're looking for Mega Colony stuff. And we got it all. We left with it. Also, don't be afraid to use, like you said, if there's a $30 card that you don't think you're going to be able to trade, or that it's valued high, but for some reason the demand actually isn't there, go ahead and cut your losses, liquidate it at a dealer.
If their prices are good.
If their prices are good. A lot of times,
I've had maybe one experience where I was actually able to get a good price off a dealer at exactly what a card was worth or what he projected it was. And actually, like a couple hours after the tournament, the card tanked. And I'm like, well, I got $15 for this $6 card. Thank you, I guess. Like
that one guy that we saw,
that was cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
At Atlanta, yeah.
He gave great value.
Yeah,
great value. Liquidated a lot of stuff that day.
Yeah, I did.
And it's just,
my binder is empty.
It's just good to have that information and stuff like that. And something you may want to buy stuff. Also, there'll be people selling things that you won't find at your locals.
Yeah, or that
you
didn't even know you wanted.
There are a lot of people there.
I might even bring my Final Fantasy VII game and see if anybody wants to trade for it. Like, yo, this is cards for this $50 game.
Yeah, bro, I got a Legion Rare set of Think Savers. Can I get your Samsung Galaxy?
Who am I, Volpe? Come on. You ever met Volpe? He was this guy who would come into our locals and just walk around and offer you cash and or cards for your smartphone while you were using it in front of him.
Oh, God.
Like, yo, you want to trade for that phone? Volpe, I am using this to communicate with other human beings at the moment. Ask me if I have an old one.
No, it's important to do those things, and I think. What about you, Brax? What's your lesson here?
Don't tell people what you're playing.
Brax doesn't like to tell people what he's playing.
Go on a little bit more about that. Don't say something.
Don't tell people what you're playing.
You can even use the misdirection factor and bring different sleeves of other units.
Why, Braxton? Shouldn't I tell my opponent when I'm playing? Why shouldn't I just show up to this tournament with the CBD mat, CBD sleeves, and play Universe? What is so wrong with that?
Because it's stupid.
Is
that enough? No. All right, so
here we go. Second video in a row.
Now, granted,
all right, really. Are we gonna have this right now?
Oh, we can do this right now.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, cool.
All right, so the
realistically
reason that
speaking,
you don't want to do that.
I'm gonna
Don't
beat you both. Rex first, then Ryan. Go.
All right. So, why would you tell your opponent what you're playing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If I know what you're playing, best believe I'm gonna change my entire playstyle to beat you now that I know what you're playing. If you don't think I haven't tried to mulligan differently just to get a better card hand, since I now know what I'm playing against, you're wrong.
Also, look around. Because any of those players could be your opponent at any time.
Yeah, that too.
So once you finish your game, focus on your game first, primarily, obviously. When you're done, look around, see who isn't finished. Because if you're sitting around these people, those are going to be the people you might get paired up against next. So
And if I'm gonna take the time, to change certain things, if I know what you're playing, you don't think other people are gonna do that to me? Like, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm playing.
Now, granted, art of tilting, a little bit of art of tilting here. I'm not much of a tilter, don't get me wrong. But
Excuse me?
what I will do is I'll say like, oh, so you're playing X. I don't really know if they're playing X. I take what I observe. If they're sitting down with a Kaiser sleeves and a Dayusha mat, gonna take a guess.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, D-Robos. If they think if I'm right, they're gonna be like, oh shit, he figured it out. I'm like, well, not really, you're stupid. If I'm wrong, then I lure him into a false sense of security. He knows, like, I got him tricked. He's gonna mulligan for D-Robos, when in fact I'm not gonna mulligan for D-Robos because I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna mulligan like I would normally.
Exactly.
Not that I'm playing Sandguard. You don't mulligan differently. you follow one line, you get on the highway, you take it all the way to Atlanta.
But now, like, some decks can actually,
Thanks, I-85. Absolute I-85.
but some decks can actually, afford to mulligan differently for certain matchups and be just fine. Like, normally I'm
If you're
just
playing against Kagero and you're playing Shadows, you take the BD Raw and you laugh at them.
you take the beat here and you laugh at them.
Gular!
Yeah.
Rip the dream.
Oh, hey, Red Pulse. Good thing you told me you were playing the cross.
Dark Regulars? Oh, no, your game is now over.
Yeah.
Sayonara.
Like, if some dude's telling me he's playing Brawlers and I win the die roll, I'm gonna say I'm going first, just so I can play around their starter.
Rip the dream.
Yeah, because if you go first in the Brawlers and they're playing Zaishin, you can play around that. As long as you open up BD Raw. I love that name now.
If I'm going first against anybody, you better bet I'm misread. That's all I'm saying.
We can do this all day.
Enjoy your day. Also, like,
you're playing a starter-dependent deck?
this
BD
is
Raw.
this is a hard lesson. A lot easier to say than it is to do. Know your limitation to the deck. Don't think that your deck can. I mean, granted, have some confidence and believe that you can sack your way to victory if you have to. But again, to quote Jorge, Jose, how will you finish the universe matchup? Jorge, I don't want to lose. Like, I try my best, and he was like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I don't usually rush.
No, you're going to look to your left and you're going to look to your right and you say, how'd you guys do?
Well, boys, good news. You guys aren't playing against Universe.
and then I'm just like, oh, I'm not? Let me mulligan slightly differently.
It's just important to realize your deck's limitations. For example,
And then we realized that we were all playing against Universe, and we raised our hand for Judge.
against the last round of this last singles tournament where I bubbled out, which makes me a little mad. So did you.
Yeah, we did.
I played against Aquaforce.
I played against Messiahs.
And I didn't know if he didn't have a grade 3, if he did have a grade 3. I don't know what his plan was. When he tried to play the grade 2 game against Sandguard
With Swordman.
with Swordman, like, you can argue in the comments that, like, yes, they have a good grade 2 game. When they draw into them, I don't have to worry about drawing into my grade 2s. I'll just call them from the deck.
Yeah.
I have Violinist. I have Swordman. I can make columns. It's not a problem. Know the limitations of your deck. That's the lesson. Back to you, Ryan.
As I always say, despite the fact that we devote a lot of time on our podcasts, our videos, talking about the meta. What does it look like? How do you beat it? What do these matchups look like? What are your profiles? All this. But when you really go to a tournament, it's a lot like what they tell you in League of Legends. Most of us, the grand majority of people, are not the best at this game. We don't routinely go to the major tournaments in Japan. We don't, make any kind of calls on card design. We're certainly not invited to Bushiroad. We're certainly not sponsored by them. We're not like the top dogs. So when you go to a fairly mid to low level tournament, the best strategy you can always go with is play what you are comfortable with. I'm going to say that again. Play what you are comfortable with. Now granted, I do not ever do this. I am most comfortable with Kagero. I have played that deck since I started playing this game. I rarely get to play it in tournament anymore until we get new support. Thank you, Base Kai. Because I usually attempt to play what's strong.
You played the last team league.
Last team league I played Kagero.
Yeah.
But it was
Because
good then.
it was good then.
The dream was
The
live.
other singles and ARGs I have played Aqua Force,
Thank God.
Royal Paladins. I played something else
When I
at
played that
different
Royal Paladin,
time.
that was a disaster.
It was going really well until I tilted out. So
Karma.
I attempted to play what's strong, and I keep
Karma.
teaching myself this lesson over and over, is just play what you're comfortable with. Because when you're trying to figure out your deck on the fly, you're obviously not going to know a lot about it. Heck, most of the time I played Maelstrom Aquaforce, I was playing it for tournaments, because our locals evaporated, and we haven't really been to a local tournament in quite some
What
time.
are you talking about, dude? You got locals at 1100 blank 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 North Carolina zip code here.
Hey, you're not wrong. Boy, I certainly don't go there to win money.
Especially when you buy me pizza.
Yeah, thank you, by the way. So, basically, and then I have people coming up and telling me this, hey, that was a great game. Also, did you know this? Like, you could do this. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Maybe it's because I've played a total of like 30 games with this deck over 3 tournaments.
Don't fall into the Ryan trap.
Yeah, don't fall in the Ryan trap. Pick the deck you have played 500 games on over the one you've played 3 or 4. I'm like, Sidegard, I can do this.
To be fair, you did do it, and then
X2
Karma came and said, "You kind of cheesed that, man."
You
X2 dropped those
really
movie.
cheese that man.
But I didn't have to choose that man. I could have won that game. I just misplayed. I
That's
still
fair
won
enough.
that game.
I will say this though. If I could have done anything, I would have walked up to like the man like DJ Khaled though, and literally looked him in the eyes and said,
You played yourself.
So
Those were good times. I'm sorry, man, if you're out there.
the important thing here to remember is that he's right. You play what you're comfortable with. And he told you something about him. So if we're telling you guys, technically, we're breaking Braxton's rule right now. We're telling you information about ourselves.
Yeah, a little bit.
And
Oh,
that's
no,
because
it's
we're
not
confident
like they
that we
haven't
can.
seen us do this
Yeah,
over and over.
And then we can.
Apparently, from what I'm told from these jerks, I never look like I'm tilting.
I tilt all the time. That is a straight up. Like, I'll tell you right now, stay calm. Do whatever you have to stay calm. Don't you dare do anything. Do what you have to stay calm and not get on tilt. Because a lot of the time, you can ask Jorge, you can ask Braxton, you can certainly ask Nate. If I'm playing, and there's certain clans I definitely... Shadows. If I play against certain clans,
He
it
goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I automatically set to tilt. I don't know why. I think I hate the clan with passion, but good clan. One of the best in the game, but I hate them with the fire of 1,000 suns.
I wish I had a deck. I'll play that. Why not?
So meanwhile, I'm just sitting over here playing the same deck for 5 months.
Same deck since the beginning of... Same clan since the beginning of 2016. 2015.
Yeah,
But
feels also good.
just try not to tilt. And I know that's another lesson's super hard, but do what you have to stay. Braxton in singles, he'll walk outside, catch his breath, talk to
yeah.
people. Me and Ryan will usually
Like,
trade.
My first world championship, I was playing Blouse, and like, oh my god, I was falling to pieces after round 3.
No, you were not fucking. You started to crack around 3. You fell apart after you won against Maelstrom.
Yeah, I
You
felt
literally
like
fell apart.
that game was so close. We were both at 5, and I won because of a trigger. And like, I went to go sign the sheet, and I was shaking so bad, I exploded the pen.
So-
like, I took the Bushiroad pen out, and I went to go sign, and the pen was just like, no. The
Crappy,
pen,
like every other Bushi product.
the
No, enjoy the swag.
The pen was the personification of my soul, and I just broke.
Nonetheless,
Hey man, we don't have to talk about Peter today.
enjoy the swag.
R.I.P. Volume 3.
So,
I need a moment.
what's important here is to remember,
Hashtag Yang Arm.
stay calm, do what you gotta do. And, and walk out and do what you have to do. And gather your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, what happens is going to happen. Triggers are going to happen. Not triggers are going to happen. If you're Jorge, you won't check for crap. You'll probably miss right a lot, even if you assist.
Also, another important thing to remember, triggers happen. Literally. Like, you could be playing the best of your ability.
It's an integral game mechanic.
Yeah, like, surprisingly enough, we're just really lucky, so I don't get sacked that much.
We're
Yeah,
just
we died.
really lucky.
12
Thank you for speaking to our credentials. here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Thank you very much, 12 crit. That's a lot of luck you put in there.
Triggers happen.
Oh, also, don't be afraid to call BS when you feel it.
Oh, yeah, if someone's cheating, call them out.
Not only that, but like, if you have a problem with a card that you don't understand, call a judge. One, because they're not going to interrupt you.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not going to get there and be like, hey, can I see this card? They're not going to do that because they're taught to not be active judges. So you got to be on your crap to know what cards do.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of bad at this. Cause
Always read the card because,
I always read the cards.
why not? I mean,
those
people
cards,
accidentally misuse cards all the time.
like, if
One
there's a
time I
card
played CBD and forgot that it was once per turn. Oops.
Lock.
like, if I see a card that I'm not familiar with, I'm just gonna, like, pause.
So,
Even if I'm familiar with it, I'm like, let me read this again because card text matters.
Yeah.
It's the entire game.
in most cases, I usually go for the cutting of the deck. However, in major situations, such like ARG Charlotte, I did this as an homage to Braxton. I would Braxton shuffle my opponent's deck after he shuffled. You don't know if they're stacking. I don't know if they're stacking.
Do I care for set? Well, obviously I care, but I'm not actively looking if you're cheating or not. But the fact of the matter is, there's no reason for me not to take that chance.
But exactly, if you can avoid it by taking a few extra seconds to. Let me put this foil grade 3 on top. No, don't do that. We're not from Singapore. We can't cut for foils.
Yo.
So it's important to do that, to call out BS when you have to, because you never know when you'll see it.
Also, make sure when they shuffle your deck, they're looking at you, their hands over the table,
Yeah.
shuffling.
Look
Yeah,
at
don't let them do this.
Yeah, don't let them, like, off the table, they're looking down. No, don't let them do that.
Okay.
And
Game's up here, son.
I'm gonna use that. Game's up here.
So
let's do this. You got this lovely mat and everything. I know you don't want to obscure like
Jorge
the
Jorge is not here, and we have to anger Pojo somehow.
right. So what's important here is that. So he goes out and catches his breather, talks to people.
Yeah.
Ryan trades. I'm usually humbled by fans. That's how I can
I'm
tell.
humbled by fans.
But humbled
My adored by fans.
We'll slap you both.
by
We'll slap
fans.
you both.
Humbled by
We'll slap
fans.
you both. We'll slap you both.
On a Jose Colas for
But-
Atlanta.
By that point, the Coke is gone. But luckily, the world of Coke is right around the corner. We're back in the game. No, it's just it's great.
If we are talking about tilting, there's one thing I can tell you. I have definitely tilted a tournament before.
I have too.
Hilariously so. I think one of my most egregious... There were two egregious times I tilted the tournament. One where I figured out my build was wrong in a locals, and I simply could not win any game.
This is Tachikaze.
This is the Tachikaze story.
No Sonic, no
Where
Ace.
Ryan got a little too big for his britches and decided that I'm going to beat all you scrubs with Tachikaze this
And
week.
he didn't win a game.
And I didn't. No, incorrect. I did win one round. However, I did get destroyed because I simply couldn't make columns. Because I couldn't make anything higher than 16. And oh man, that mattered in cross-ride format.
And here I was playing MLB. I'm like, oh man,
I'm the last of you.
this is a really nice
5K.
12.
5K.
Margot looking real sexy
What's the
right
second
now.
time then?
That would be the time I played Sangard, and I could not get anything to save my life. The deck abandoned me. It's like you can't even win with me legitimately.
It's not as bad as me at Nationals, man. At Philly.
I
tilted.
That was a dark time.
hard at Philly.
Anyway, if there's one thing that I can say that card games has taught me, it is how to take a loss.
Yeah.
Just, I lost. Okay.
Whoops.
It's a good thing I have these two beside me, to make it work out.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just doesn't happen. You lose round one, it feels bad, but you go rule that scrub rack with an iron fist.
I was
like,
like,
now
if there's
everybody else.
anything that you have learned from this channel, is to rule the scrub bracket with an iron fist.
Because it doesn't matter if you lose round one. You can go all the way to the top off of round one. Almost.
No, you can almost.
You can when Bushiroad doesn't run their tournaments like a dumbass.
I could have made the run.
I mean,
I could have made the
I'm
run.
honestly, honest to God, surprised you made top 16.
I did rule that.
You ruled that bracket.
I'm telling you.
Like we're in the last round, and I look over to me. There was a person sitting here, and then there was Jose over there. I was just like, boy.
And I remember because Braxton said Jose's looking angry. I was just like,
So
I'm standing.
going back. So apparently, when I play with the straightest face, and you can't read me. I looked over at Jose at the end of this tournament, and he had the Braxton face going on. Like I wanted to say something to him, and I was just like, I'm gonna just leave this man alone.
Meanwhile, I'm over here. Would you like to sign a Doombringer agreement?
Oh, that's a funny tradition. If you get to ever play Ryan.
So, I had this binder made for me of Doombringer Griffins when I adopted the nickname after the release of Set 5. Because I used to go and blow up local communities, because I'm a scumbag. Anyway, more on that in my player profile, coming soon.
Question mark. Around the
Maybe
same
we're
time.
gonna
I
lost in
think
the
we've said
film
this
record.
5 times.
I recorded it and it got lost.
It got lost for
It
reasons.
got lost for reasons. It was during the time we had to use Jose's phone for videos.
Let me tell you something. It was lost for a reason, and more point than that.
Anyway, so I have this binder of Doombringer Griffins that I bring with me to tournaments. And if I feel like it, or mostly when I play Kagura, because that is my best deck, it tends to be when I do best, I will pull out this binder and I will say, would you like to make a friendly wager? And the opponent always says, okay, let's hear it. And I say, I have this binder of Doombringer Griffins. As you can see, there are a bunch of signed Doombringer Griffins in here, and the signature rolls are all different. Every time I win a game in a major tournament, so anything above locals, or anything mid-level or higher, I guess,
So
if I win the match, or the game, what have you, considering if it's Team League, I will take out the card and make you sign it. However, if you win, I will take out the card, sign it, give it to you, and leave the blank space. So I have a record of every major tournament game to which I have brought this binder. That I have.
And
Yeah,
so far,
it's a cool little thing.
And so far, it's still full.
There's a lot of... Well,
It's not- no,
it's
there
got
are-
some missing
There
spots.
are
Has some
three
missing
spaces.
spots?
There are 3 spaces, I believe.
Oh,
I
God.
lost... There was one time very early on when I first used the binder, and there were 2 at Nationals, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the only times that I have pulled out. Well, not the only times I pulled out the binder. The only times I have had to
So
pull
there
out
are
the binder.
Doombringer Griffins out there with your signature on there.
That is correct. Go collect them.
Go collect them!
Absolution rares.
The absolution!
Go find the Pale Moon guy from Nationals who
Oh,
destroyed
yeah.
my soul.
Rip
And
the
yours.
dreams. No, he didn't beat me.
Who did he beat? He beat another one of us. He beat
Nate.
you?
What?
Nate.
He beat Nate?
No,
Oh,
I think Nate beat him.
oh
I don't
okay.
know.
Yeah, I think Nate got
Oh,
the
wait,
best
Nats? Yeah, Nathan beat him.
Nate
Okay.
beat him. So, the...
Pale Moon guy. He was on another level.
And I guess, so, in conclusion, to end this video right, the biggest lesson we can all teach you is, honestly, to have a blast. Have a good time.
It's a vacation, like
'Cause
Rex said.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
We all play. We all
have
play.
yet to top a team tourney,
Yeah.
but we have so many stories.
Yeah.
We've learned... We started literally, I think...
With nothing, and now we know everybody.
We started our first team league.
It
We
was
ended
just-
it at like 192nd place.
Yep. Second team league, we ended in 12th.
Second team league, we ended in 12th.
Now we're gonna try to win.
And now we're over the win. You will grow as a player. You will.
From experiences like this.
Yeah,
Being around so many like-minded people and really testing your mettle
Yeah. Also,
is
we
how you get to make claims like we do.
Getting kicked in the teeth.
Also that.
I like
that-
kicking teeth in.
Yeah, same. That's just us. We
Like
play to win.
I got 5 on Block Diablos. We're gonna go for 6.
So,
I went 8-0 last team league I went to.
Yeah, you did.
I have yet to drop a game in Atlanta. This is the truth.
will you bring it to an end? Find out next time.
On Atlanta Ball Z.
So, like I said, have a good time. You're gonna have so many cool stories. You're gonna meet so many cool people.
I mean, we made a lot of friends.
We made a lot of friends.
over our course playing this game.
Playing this game. So take it. I'm not saying take it lightly. Obviously, take it with whatever you want to take it as. If it's something that you feel you need to win, then take it as seriously as that. But remember, at the end of the day,
always know how to take a loss.
take a loss.
I mean, if you get triggered,
Have
get
some
triggered.
fun.
It is what it is.
Play some side mats. Play some free fight.
Be captain side event.
Be captain side of it.
Go make some absolutely
trade.
ridiculous trades.
Yes.
Go do what you got to do. Have a good time. So I think I'm gonna leave it here. But comment if you have any funny stories from any ARGs, any of those Springfest you've been to. Maybe you had a cool hotel run. I met some cool people once. Something like that.
He met all his adoring fans.
Don't
I
forget,
made him sign crap.
don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, our Twitter. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, our GoFundMe.
if you want to send us to another team league
The other team league we desperately want to go to. We want to
in
see what
Austin,
other.
Texas.
But
Help
yeah,
us.
help us out and thank you for everything. And
Thanks for
have a great
watching.
night. Peace.
And don't mess with Adam T.